sort of started walking. You've been walking past various farms, large fields, a lot of sort of like flowing grass, rice paddies, these sort of things. You're really sort of getting the idea that of the sort of locale that you're in, and you're very much coming into the understanding that you're in a valley because when you get there, you get a kind of clear shot and how you start to see that like it goes up, um, and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of uphill trekking. Is Emmy? Emmy seems to be having a rough time of things.
Yeah, she said
Am
she
I
was.
frozen right now?
You're just
Your
sitting
camera's
on the
loading.
cat.
I can't
Oh,
see your camera.
I'll just turn it off. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's
Oh, you're fine. I was just wondering if you were here because I obviously it was just loading.
yeah. It was just loading, so we didn't know if you were here or not. Was the only thing. Okay. Um.
That answers that.
Right. So good. Good. You know that traveling south, you're eventually gonna hit. Hmm. That's upsetting. Um. You know that heading south, you're gonna hit the Tuolong Glow eventually. Man, what unfortunate stuff. Are you there, Emmy? Are you there, Cat?
Emmy, are you okay? Are you okay, Emmy?
Yeah. You've been hit
Connection might be rough.
by some bad connection. Okay. And yeah, heading along the road. Actually, the first thing that happens is you're going there and you see that there is a sort of way station not far off. Very sort of like all this place has been fairly rustic and whatnot. So it sort of makes sense that things are as they were, but you guys have been hoofing it, and having some horses and maybe a wagon might be worth it to try and find. Um, so, yeah, way stop. Okay, cool. Your camera is loading, but as long as we have you here in
We
audio,
don't care if the
that's
camera looks
that's
weird.
that's perfect.
Yeah, as long as you're here.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best approach. Wonderful.
Nope, she's not here.
God damn. Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that I have to keep it on this specific thing. Right. That's upsetting. So, you've been traveling for a little bit. You see this way station. How's everyone feeling coming away from Chenwu and all the different stuff that's happened there?
What was our determined direction? Where
I
are we
suppose
headed?
it could be south.
South.
Are we heading to a
Valencia, fresh.
specific place, or
Yeah, well, you're heading to the Silver Mist, to specifically the Jinwu Mill, which you were told was just along the road, kind of hard to miss, sort of idea. The specific landmark that you'd know of would there's a copper statue, um, that will like basically give you the heads up that you're nearby. So
And then, just for context, it was in regards to the head of the Silver Dragon family, to kind of connect with them about the possibility of their curse having been broken.
Uh, that's a part of it. Also, that you were,
In the vault and
yeah,
first-hand
that
witnesses.
you're particularly dealing against the cultists and whatnot, which is a particular interest of what's happening inside the South. So, right, yeah. So that's pretty much what it pertains to. It's just a letter of introduction saying that like they did this and this and that, and here's possibly some stuff that's happened.
I'm like vibrating with excitement. I'm super excited to like do other things, get into other trouble, find other treasures. And also, I just gave everybody gifts, which we'll back at some point.
Oh, I mean, hey, if you want to do that now, I mean, like, because you
Okay.
can roll through them. Yeah. Because I think it's
Alright.
just Emmy and
Emmy, Durst, and Lucy.
right.
There's one for everybody.
Mhm.
So I'll start with Lucy first. So this is gonna be actually the night before we left.
Mhm.
I would have come and knocked on the door. Um, if do you have a room, Lucy, or are you staying outside all the time?
You can knock on a tree. I will answer. Like on the other side of the tree I'm sleeping up against.
I wasn't gonna like do it like exactly when you're sleeping. It was kind of like before bedtime, like after we're all winding down from all the chaos. Unless you passed out on a tree just randomly, then I'll knock on the tree. I knock on Lucy's tree.
And Lucy immediately grabs her axe because she doesn't know what the hell's happening.
I obviously would have been like, hey, it's okay. It's just me. So, we're going to be going on journeys that are going to be in new places that you're not familiar with, leaving kind of areas. Obviously, you've seen some stuff like in the underground, new technology, very unfamiliar. So, in thinking about that, we were wanting to go out to sea. And I realized you escape to nature as your way to kind of hope and distress. And there will be no forest on the ocean. So I'm going to reach in my bag and pull out this little wooden circle that is like an oval egg shape. And then I'm going to hold it up to you and slowly start twisting it apart. And you're going to see it starting to separate. And as it separates, it's hollow inside, like slowly forming. And the best description for you as Strixie is something like a potpourri container, um, to allow for scent to come out. And you can close it or open it up wider. And then after you fully untwist it, it splits apart. And it's on like a necklace chain with leather. So I'm going to show you this, and I'm like, so this can hold things that maybe remind you of places that you have been, or maybe different things that you just want to have a change of sensory. So I put it back and I hand it to you. And then I pull out of my bag um, this bundle of herbs that I got earlier from the tavern. It's like, so I also wanted to go through your herbal kit. I have some other things for you too, but I got a whole bunch of herbs. So I was going to restock us both with like food cooking herbs and stuff like that. And then while you have your herbal kit out, I will pull out this pine cone that has a lot of different herbs from your area stuffed into it. And I'm like, so Carson gave this to me as a gift for you to help you have a connection with where you came from. And I hand that to you. And then the last thing I do is I pull out 5 little pouches that are like little cloth tied up, and they're like little bundles. And I open the first one up, and I tell you these are from my personal flower stash. So there's gonna be lavender and sage, and then the last 3, I'm going to slowly reveal one that is this blue flower with a yellow center. And I'm going back to my notes to tell exactly what I called them. Sorry. One is this is my personal favorite. It's a lemon smell, but it also is a flower that's used for tea. I make lemon tea technically out of it. It was created from my mother's garden, and it's something if you kind of like citrus smell, you might like this. Then another one I'm going to pull out is going to be this deep red, almost blood-like center, and it's going to kind of gradually fade a little bit and then just turn into white. And I'm going to tell you that this flower is my mother's favorite flower, and it smells like brown sugar or vanilla. It's like really sweet, and it's like it's mage created, so it also is going to be like a sweet tea flower. But if you also want to smell it, will provide like a sweet smell. And then the last bundle is going to just be rose petals. There's going to be all different colors: reds, the pinks, the whites, um, whatever, yellow, black as well. But there's going to be one special one inside of it that's silver. And I'm going to hold it up and show you, like, this is a silver starlight rose petal. It's from a cutting of a special flower that we use in a ceremony for viewing flowers in the moonlight. And if you hold it up in the moonlight, it gives off a very, very faint, sparkly mist, but that's only because it's the petal. The full roses would bloom with like this kind of misty glow at night. But the special property about this is if you leave it with any other roses, it will revive the rose petals back to freshness and also keep them preserved. It takes about a month for something to come back. So if you want to smell roses and you like roses, they'll be preserved and last you forever. And then I hand this all to you. And I was thinking on the ship, when we're surrounded by water and there's nothing around and you need this kind of escape to nature, maybe you could use this to help.
Lucy would grab everything and just like put it in her, like in various pockets. And she will take the sage and put it in the little charm thing. And then yeah, she'll just thank you for the pine cone especially. Now Duris doesn't have to replace it.
Yeah, just don't let them know that you have an extra pike cone. We can find other things that are projectile. A lot of it. We can find sticks. There's a lot of sticks on the ground, okay? But I'm gonna let you go. I have some other stuff to give to other people. Have a good night, and I'll leave you.
Thank you.
Durst and Emmy are kind of, sort of in a weird quasi. I know Durst is out having coffee night, and Emmy is probably getting Jesse and stuff like ready. But, I'm just gonna. Which one you guys want to go first?
Is
Um,
Cat, are you around?
Yes, Cat is here. Cat is
Okay.
here.
Then I'll take Kat because
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna disappear on me.
yeah, I imagine
So-
just like
I'll just keep my camera off.
yeah. So Emmy and Jesse are probably hanging out. Oh, you're muted while you're.
Can I also not be perceived today? I would like to not be perceived today.
Yeah, no worries, no
Yeah,
issues.
go for it.
Cool.
I am now angry Kirby.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
So I would you knew about my gift. So if you wanted to come to my room and get it, Or if you
Yeah,
want-
I was coming on my way back to the inn. Because you told me to come.
perfect.
Yeah, I'd imagine that Jesse's doing a little bit more formal of an exiting from the tavern. Having been like, we're not leaving immediately. Okay, I'm gonna walk back and be like, hey, I don't hate you all. So
Just giving a classic half hour's notice, not 2 weeks. Doesn't need it. He's out of here.
yeah, exactly. So
Okay,
yeah.
so when you come in, I'm gonna ask if you have your ion stone on you.
Yes, and I will pull it out from my belt.
Alright.
Fucking what?
So I got this item because the ion stone, we kind of were obviously not wanting it to be out in the open, and we were wanting to make sure it wasn't discovered, and also you didn't really want Duris to see it. So there's this little egg-shaped item that I have, kind of similar to the thing I just gave Lucy, but I'm gonna pull this one apart, and inside it's hollow, and I'm gonna see if the ion stone fits. I'm assuming it would fit, Richard.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not like
So-
super snug. It kind of rattles abound a bit, but like,
Oh, perfect. So it's bigger than it is. Okay, perfect. I was just making sure it wasn't too. The ion stone wasn't too big.
no.
So maybe if to dampen the noise, you could. But I had a thought. So this is really tight when it closes. It's a really secure fit, and also it can be put on a bracelet. But I was hoping to get this lined to prevent magical detection in one of the cities because I don't want anybody to be able to scry on this object or kind of notice you have it if they search you ever for magic items. So this object,
Clever idea.
this object's kind of like a visual. You can just like, no one's gonna steal a little wooden orb from you compared to the stone visually. But I actually was thinking it might be watertight enough that maybe when you're not using it, you can give it to Li Shui and he can guard it when
I mean,
you don't need to.
we'll immediately take it and drop it in the backpack to see if it's watertight.
What you mean inside of the
Water, the fish tank.
Inside of the water.
inside the
in
Li
fish
Shui
tank.
apartment? Yeah, like it. Well, first of all, it's made of wood, so it like kind of floats first. You gotta kind of are you just like jamming your hand in?
No, I kind of drop it in like a fish food
It looks like a bobber.
and
is my
tell Li Shui
assumption.
not to eat it.
It was, you an offering that is
It's gonna have like a little bracelet on it that if he wants to grab it with his mouth and drag it down the bottom and
Oh
play
yeah,
with
100%. He's
I
like,
need you to guard this with your life.
I was already going to offer such a thing, for my life is forfeit upon your need. And
Thank you.
swims up and grabs it and goes goes down, even kind of like twirls into it, so it's like wrapped around, and be like, this is now guarded for however long my lifespan is. And I'm unaware of how long my lifespan would be, but I am certain that.
It will be so long.
I
Good.
just sit here and watch her stare at her fish and do stuff.
Yeah, just like blub blub blub, and then she's like, "It'll be so long." Like-
Thank you so much, Li Shui, and thank you, Ashley. I really appreciate this. As
Yeah.
does Li Shui, and I'll like
Yeah.
show her the fish.
Aw, he looks so happy.
It's like super
was-
intense stare, being like, "There is another that is looking at your item. I will be ready to defend."
Yes, she gave it to me.
The bestower.
She's a
of
friend.
gifts.
She's a friend.
just like I wave at Li Shui, looking all happy at him with his bobber toy thing.
They
But
have
yeah,
the
so-
appearance of the one from the air that tried to scoop me from the pond.
Oh, yes, but she's a bit bigger, see? The big ones don't eat from the pond. They just, they eat normally like we do.
You are
Or I
friends with
do.
a grand predator of larger ponds. You impress me still.
I will give him a little pet on the head.
I love just dunking your hand all the way in to go pat pat. That's so good.
Or a little gentle stroke.
Mm-hmm.
So I would tell you, I assume it would be expensive. This is kind of something that we might have to save up for if you want to keep this item out of dangerous hands. But I know there is ways to magically contain stuff in boxes. We're just gonna have to kind of ask around in a general sense of how to do it, and then maybe either this item or another item will have that done to, and you can continue to use it in great need or when we're in places like out of sight that no one else is going to see us.
Great idea. Thank you so much, Ashy.
Yeah.
Emmy
Right.
will give her a hug and the old classic friend to pat on the back thing.
Of course.
And then I will let you go back to whatever you and Jesse may be planning for getting ready for tomorrow.
Bow, chicka, wow. Probably just that.
Okay.
Okay. Then finally for Durst, I'm assuming he comes. I might not catch him at night. I might catch him coming back in the morning after I've slept.
Hey, it's up to Durst. What's
You could absolutely come in and get involved in the impromptu study session. We're just basically at the mayor's house, or you could see us coming up from the pass as we're coming out.
This
Like,
is going to
none
be
of us
something where I'm trying to get you in private to discuss the item.
You'll probably catch him on the way back, most like.
Okay, so
Just
on your
stumble.
way into
Yeah.
your room, I might hear you coming in and like knock on your door. Hey, I know you've kind of had a busy night. Can I talk to you about something?
Absolutely, you know my door is always open. What is it?
So-
Ish?
I'm gonna pull out this bag, and it's gonna be rectangular shape, kind of like a pouch that is really well made. It's like super well sealed. And I'm going to hand it to you, and I'm going to explain, okay, so we may be going into places where we have a lot of uncertainty about the terrain, especially if we're on the ocean and getting things wet. And you have books. I don't know if your spell book is magical or if it's waterproof.
It is a book.
So I got you this waterproof pouch to easily put your book in and pull out when you need to draw it to use. And that way, if we ever are in the ocean or we fall into a lake or something, you don't have to worry about the damage of your spell book. You would have at least that safe. And maybe other items that you want to keep secure.
That's the most thoughtful thing anyone's ever done for me, actually. This is quite nice, thank you. May I? Like gestures if we can take the thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sorry.
Picks it up and it's kind of like... This is well made. Did you craft this?
No, there was a trader in town, and I was looking for possibly trying to craft something, but they had one made. So instead of me trying to learn how to do something I don't know how to do, I used resources.
This is probably better than me handing you my books when I'm about to get knocked into the water by a brawny man.
Yeah, I'm not that quick
Just
on
a
shoving
professional.
stuff in my bag, and you know.
You'll actually see that there's stitched in like little like stars and sort of like celestial sort of patterns across it, like just little subtle sort of things inside of there.
I sure love it. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. I'm just going to actually clip this on right now, and you see Durst basically put this right in front, just a fanny pack, just an absolute fanny pack
Absolutely.
right there.
I mean, easy draw access.
Gonna
You want your
store
book.
snacks in there, Neosporin, Band-Aids.
Do you
checkbook,
do you have an
hand
herbalist
sanitizer.
kit?
I'm done listing things. Sorry. Okay.
You're fine. Do you have an herbalist kit?
Uh,
Like, are you proficient in herbalist? Did you take that?
no.
Okay, cool. Is there anybody else besides Lucy and I are herbally?
No.
No.
Okay, cool. I was just gonna divvy up my herb pouch from the kitchen.
I believe
Kitchen
Glim
herb.
has eaten
Bleeding
herbs
out.
and
What do you have? I have rosemary.
yeah, I believe
Yeah,
Glim
no.
has eaten herbs and Emmy's partaken of them. But
Okay,
yeah.
then that pretty
I
much
just-
concludes my gift giving. For anybody who wasn't here, Glimwell got a. Oh, actually, I do have one more item I'm gonna ask.
I thought there was something. Yeah, okay.
There's a vest, but I kept it because Glimwell didn't really want it. I gave him the whip, or her the whip.
Yes.
So Glimwell has this moray eel, like dangerous whip. I don't know if the moray eel. I didn't investigate it too closely. It just might be poisonous, dangerous, or design. But I have this vest with like a billion pockets, and I realized I wear armor, and I was gonna ask Duris, like, do you need something to like put stuff, pouch stuff in? This is like really well made too. Like, it will keep things secret. It's basically like a rogue kit, hideaway, thieves tool pouch. So
I can just sort of open up my robes and just have like a bunch of things hanging, like I'm selling watches to someone.
but you're the only one that doesn't actually wear armor that you actually could open up robes, is what I was kind of like realizing.
It's fair. So I get a secret inner robe inside my robe.
And you'll have to ask Richard to like describe it way more better, because I vaguely just remember it just had pockets. I don't know if it's like the inside of like a hunting jacket or like the inside of that guy that's selling all the watches?
Short
no,
answer.
it's
Short answer is
more
yes.
akin to like a vest than it is like a full robe.
A vest.
That's just kind of like something that you could like put over the top, and it has
Just sling my thumbs into like the pockets,
Yeah.
just right at my hips, just be like.
I
this is a
think
good
the
one.
idea is it's supposed to be
Strixie going nuts.
something that you can wear under your clothes to keep it hidden, or it's a concealed vest.
It would. Aren't all vests concealed if you wear them under things?
Yes,
Sure.
but when
Got
you
a
close
stealth
it,
vest. You
the
got me
things
a
inside of
vest.
it. I got you a concealed
stealth
pocket
vest.
vest. It's got so many pockets on the inside, and these
It's a vest
pockets
with
are
a
like
lot of pockets. But I love the idea of like we're marketing this as like it's a secret hidden thing you can wear under the vest.
It's one of
It'd be
those
weird if
where
you wore the
like
vest over the other stuff.
where like if someone like looks at it, it's like, oh, you're just wearing a vest underneath your clothes. That's
Idiot.
fine.
This
And then you
is
go,
my
haha, there's actually pockets on this vest.
the
Like,
reason
no.
I got it is I was trying to give Glimwell a way to hide diplomatic communications that also would be safe if he got in the water, or she would be safe if she got wet in the water, and if she had any notes, because I've seen Glimwell receive like more communication in letter form than any of us. And I was also thinking of ways to like hide like their ring that they never really wear, and that just didn't really work with their, I don't think, outfit.
Okay,
So-
that's a question though. Did you send off a letter to your family or no?
Me
no,
or them?
I did
Them.
not.
No. I know 100% Glim didn't because you
Okay.
fucking burnt that letter. I'm talking about Ashy. I thought you sent a line.
I wanted to send a couple letters depending on which direction we were going. And I wanted to send a communication to my parents to have them specifically call me magically
Hmm.
so I can have a conversation that was more than 25 words in a message.
Okay, or you could write them on a physical piece of paper and send that.
But we like secrets, and who wants to put secrets on paper?
People that need to message
no, I could do that too.
non-magically.
I could do that too. I just wanted to kind of have some way for them to have a secure connection that I knew would not get intercepted, to kind of explain how I've been, inquire about certain things business-wise, as far as the North, is it the North Star? South Star Trading?
Yeah, the
South
Southern Star Trade.
Southern Star Trading Company. If
Mhm.
they're okay if I interfere with their business, I wanted just to ask permission for business related espionage slash destruction, rogue stuff.
Right. Okay. Because I was like, I remember you wanting to get in contact, but not if that actually happened or not.
Yeah, I didn't really ever discuss it. It was just more of like, would I know kind of thing? Like, would I know that would be okay? And we kind of talked it out that their business was like more on the sea and stuff, and then the Southern Star Traders were exclusively in this one area, and
Mhm.
it may or may not affect them. And that's why I was kind of wondering if I should send a letter out to them.
Okay. Good.
So it's like a 50-50 of like, that could either been sent out and I would have an answer from that eventually, or I would just know that it would be fine based on your opinion.
I mean, there's no 100% way to completely speak privately. It's just impossible. So basically, whatever method you feel like you want to do.
All right, then I would probably send some letter and a code for the family code
Yeah,
of
okay.
this place has been interesting. We found some stuff. I should probably check in at some time with a member.
You can send me what's in the letter, like, at some other point, and we'll...
Yeah, it would just basically like, cover the basic stuff and just
Yeah.
ask permission to interfere with business practices of a Southern Star Trader.
Cool. Alright. I think that's everything done and dusted. Right. So, with all that sort of set up, you're at this crossroads. Again, if you wanted to throw me off, just be like, you know what, North actually sounds pretty nice.